this is Kim. Welcome back. Today's video is going to be about Excel formulas. These are the basic formulas. I'm not going to get too advanced. We'll do that in another video, but these are the most common, simple, useful formulas that I'll show you today. So formulas can be intimidating. They're really not difficult. And once you set a formula, you can use it over and over, and it really simplifies your life. They can save a lot of time too. Okay, so first what you need to remember is that a formula always starts with the equal sign. So you click a box. Here, let's do this. Let's pretend like we're going to add a couple numbers. So, okay, and I'm going to put the total here. So to get our total, we could easily type in 6 plus 5 equals 11. But let's say these are numbers that we want to change, or we're going to use it for multiple addition problems. You don't want to have to type it in each time. So there's an easier way. You just basically click here. This is the formula bar here. I like to type in here. So equals, always start with equals. So what we're going to do is do this cell and then a plus this cell, and then you press enter. And that's adding. If you change this number, press enter, it changes our total. So it automatically adds whatever's in this cell plus this cell and puts the total here. Now, subtraction is very similar. Okay, so we are going to go up here, type in equals. So this box equals this cell minus this cell. And press enter. So 9 minus 5 is 4. 9 minus 2 is 7. 5 minus 2 is 3. So whatever we put in this cell minus whatever we put in this cell will equal that number. Negatives. So it'll just do the math for you. It's great. Multiplication is exactly the same. So we want to see what 4 times 3 is. So we go in here, type up here, and the formula bar equals this cell. And in Excel, the multiplication is the asterisk key. So that cell times this cell equals 12. We change it, the answer changes. Okay, now we're going to divide. Bet you could probably guess how this is going to work, but we're going to go up here to our formula bar, equals cell A, divide is the slash before, and then we will hit enter. So there you go. 10 divided by 2 is 5. 30 divided by 2 is 15. So that's division. Very easy to do. Now, this is a little bit different. We are going to do a sum. So let's do a sum of these 4 numbers. Let's do them all. So let's do 3 sums. Okay, so let's do this one. So equals, or equals, either place, sum, you do parentheses, and it's going to be this number. You can hold down the control and highlight them all. That's one way to do it. So that added up all those numbers. I'm going to show you another way. So this is equals sum of, and then you just drag him and press enter. And that added up all those. And one other way, which is pretty cool, you drag down, leave this bottom one blank, and go over here to auto sum and press auto sum. So that's how you get the sum of a group of numbers. If we want to add all these numbers, we can do that too. Let's just put it here. Equals sum, parentheses. So we want all these numbers. Hold down your Control, those numbers. Hold down Control, those numbers, and press Enter. And that's the sum of all of these numbers. It's very useful. Okay, so now we're going to count how many of these in this column here, how many have a number in them, how many cells have a number in them. So you just equals count. You can type here or up here, and you do the same thing, open parentheses, that, and then, so there was 5 cells with numbers in them. So let's do this one. I'm going to do a count A. So a count A will tell us how many cells have a number or an alpha character in it. So basically how many cells have some data in them. So it's equals count A, oops, sorry, there's no space, count, you see the little thing comes up, that kind of a cheat sheet, kind of helps you. So count A, oops, and then open parentheses, all these, enter. So that's 6 because it counted this one also. So that's, I don't know how much time you'd use that, but I guess if you wanted to see how many cells had some data in them. Okay, so now let's see. Let's use this first column here. Equals, I'm gonna do min. So min is the minimum, which would be the lowest number in this range of numbers. So 2. 2 is the lowest number. And now if we do max equals, oops, let's go up here, equals max, this row of numbers, enter 42. So that's the highest number. So minimum and maximum. Let's use this column here. Equals, now we're going to do the average. We're going to do the average of these numbers. 13.2. So it added them all up and divided by 5, and that is 13.2. Now the median of these numbers. Okay, so we're going to equals median, and then you hit the parenthesis. 14.1. So that's the number that's in the middle. It's not necessarily the average. If you go from the highest number to the lowest number, they'll meet in the middle. That's 14.1. So that was really fun, and that's basically how the formulas work. But I want to show you with a real table how to play with it a little bit. So here we go. Let's zoom in a little so you can see this better. Okay, let's just get rid of a couple of these rows. There we go. Now we have some space. Okay. So this is a class, and they've taken some tests, and these are their scores. Oops. Let's zoom out a little tiny bit. There we go. So you might want to add up a person's scores. You might want to find the average of the score. You might want to find the highest score. Yeah, let's figure out the average. Let's figure out the minimum and the maximum. How about that? Okay. So let's figure out what the average score is for test 1. So we do equals average, open parentheses. It starts with Adam. Okay. So then we're just going to highlight all these. I guess I need to zoom out a little bit so we can see this. 82.4 is the average score. So that's not bad. It's a B. Let's see what the minimum score is. So we go equals min. We're going to highlight all the scores again. And then you press enter. 71 is the lowest. Okay, so let's see what the max is. We'll highlight all the scores again. 94, so not bad. You do not have to enter these formulas again. The beauty of a formula is it can be dragged across to multiple cells. So we want to know what the average is for each one of these. All you do is you grab this little handle node down here at the bottom right and drag it over. And what it does is it applies the same formula to each column. So the average each time, it's actually pretty much about the same. Now let's see what the minimum score is each time. Oh, 70. And now let's see what the maximum. Okay, so 97. So that was an easy way to use our formula to analyze this data a little bit. You could total across. Let's total each student's across. So here we can do sum equals sum of these four, and then we hit enter. Now let's go ahead and drag it down because the same formula is for everybody. We're just adding up the four numbers across. So go down to there, and it shows everyone's total over the four. We can do average individually for each. Okay, so we're going to do equals average, open parentheses, of these four, press enter, and now let's drag this formula down for all the students, and there you go. So now you've got their total, you have their average score. Yeah, so anyways, it's fun. It's formulas. Once you learn these basics and you figure out the best formula to use to get to the result you want, it's very easy. So play with this a little bit. I think you'll find it a lot easier than you thought it was going to be. And as long as you, I'm going to show you something here. As long as you, this is what the formula is. These are the ones I went through. I'm going to put this in the description so you don't have to remember what I did. But as long as you remember these, and remember it always starts with an equals, and remember the parentheses when they're needed. If you're just adding and subtracting two cells, you don't need the parentheses. If it's a range of numbers, you use the parentheses. So like if it's a range, that's when you have, and you don't have to put the you don't have to put the close parentheses on the end. When you hit enter, it automatically does that, but you can if you want to. So anyways, yeah, so that's it for formulas. I'll be doing another video with more advanced formulas, but these are some that you can get started with right away. So I hope you liked the video. If you did, please click like and subscribe. And I'll see you next time.